Hello and welcome to eChinese Learning Pod, your go-to podcast for learning Chinese and exploring Chinese culture. To protect speakers' privacy and enhance audio quality, some or all voices in this episode are created with AI assistance.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the podcast. I'm really excited about today's episode because we're talking about something very visual, very cultural, and honestly, very beautiful.
Yes, today we're talking about
Hanfu.
And if you've ever been to China or even just scrolled through social media, you might have seen people wearing long, flowing robes and thought, wow, that looks like something from a historical drama.
Exactly. And you might have wondered, is this a costume? Is this traditional clothing? Or is this just for photos?
So in this episode, we're going to answer those questions and give you a very beginner-friendly introduction to Hanfu, especially for people who are learning Chinese.
Let's start with the most basic question. What is Hanfu?
Well, in Chinese, Han refers to the Han ethnic group, which is the majority ethnic group in China. Fu simply means clothing.
So Hanfu literally means Han people's clothing.
Right. Hanfu refers to the traditional clothing worn by Han Chinese, especially before the Qing dynasty.
And that's an important point. Hanfu is not the same as the clothes you see in modern China every day.
Yes, today people usually wear modern clothes, jeans, t-shirts, dresses. Hanfu is more like traditional or cultural clothing.
This is something a lot of people ask. Is Hanfu just a costume?
In Chinese, there's a word Fúzhuāng, which means clothing, and another word Xīfú, which means stage costume or theatrical costume.
Hanfu is not Xīfú. It's not just for acting or performances.
Yep. Historically, Hanfu was everyday clothing. People wore it to work, to socialize, to live their lives.
But today, it's more common to see Hanfu at festivals, cultural events, or even just people wearing it because they love the culture.
Some people also wear Hanfu for photography, which is called 汉服写真. That means Hanfu photo shoot.
Now, let's talk about what Hanfu actually looks like.
One very important feature is the
交领. 交领
means crossed collar. The left side usually crosses over the right side. This left-over-right style is traditional in Han Chinese clothing.
Yes, exactly. And another key feature is 宽袖. 宽 means wide, and 袖 means sleeves. So 宽袖 means wide sleeves. Those long, flowing sleeves are one of the reasons Hanfu looks so elegant when people walk.
And Hanfu usually doesn't have buttons like modern clothes. Instead, it uses
系带. 系带
means fabric ties or ribbons that you tie by Han people.
Nowadays, Hanfu seems to be becoming popular again in China and even around the world. This is something many people find interesting. If Hanfu is traditional clothing, why are young people wearing it now?
In Chinese, there's a phrase
文化认同.
that means cultural identity. For many young people, wearing
Hanfu
is a way to connect with Chinese history and culture.
Yeah, and there's also the word 复兴, which means revival.
So you might hear
汉服复兴,
meaning the revival of
Hanfu.
Social media plays a huge role here. Platforms like
小红书、抖音
and even Instagram have made Hanfu very visible.
Another common question is, when do people wear
Hanfu
Usually not to the office or school, at least not yet. People often wear Hanfu during
传统节日
which means traditional festivals. For example,
春节
Spring Festival or Chinese New Year is a traditional festival in China.
Also,
中秋节.
the Mid-Autumn Festival.
Yeah, some people wear
汉服
for
婚礼
weddings or
成人礼
coming-of-age ceremonies.
We should also clear up a very common confusion.
Hanfu
Is not the same as
旗袍. 旗袍
is a traditional dress that became popular in the 20th century.
But
汉服
is much older and comes from a different historical background.
Yeah, both are Chinese traditional clothing, but they are not the same thing.
Now let's learn some vocabulary directly to
汉服
Yep, I think
Hanfu
is actually a great way to learn cultural vocabulary.
words like
衣
meaning clothes,
穿
meaning to wear, and
美
meaning beautiful come up a lot.
You could say,
我觉得汉服很美.
that means I think
汉服
is very beautiful.
Or
我对汉服文化很感兴趣
I'm very interested in
汉服
culture.
So if you're learning Chinese and you see someone wearing
汉服
now you know a little bit more about what it represents.
It's not just clothing. It's history, culture, identity, and personal expression.
And you don't need to understand everything to appreciate it. Curiosity is enough.
Before we go, here's a question for you. If you had the chance, would you try wearing
汉服
Think about how you'd answer that, in English or even in Chinese. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next time.
Bye, everyone.
Want to practice what you've learned today with a real Chinese teacher? You can get a free one-on-one trial lesson at eChineseLearning.com. That's it for today's episode of eChinese Learning Pod. Thanks for tuning in.